Hey everyone, happy Friday. We've made it to the end of the week. I hope you guys have had a wonderful week and you've had fun staying inside, washing your hands, and staying healthy. So, we finally made it to the end of our little town building activity. So we started off building our cubes, we went to our house, we went to our tower, we went to our more complex house, and now we're gonna do a little office building. So the final building is gonna look something like this, and you can really orient it any way you like. It could even be a boot. It could be the letter L. This could be the base. It's really up to you. I like this shape because it can be a lot of different things. It could be even a little seat for someone, like so. So, let's get started. If you guys have followed me through the entire series, you should be pros by this point. But if you haven't, we're still going to go through each one of the individual steps that we've taken in all of the past videos. So, as always, linked in the description is going to be a downloadable PDF of the project we're working on today. Whoops. So, this is the front. It says it right here, of course. We're going to be making this shape. And as always, the black line is going to be our cut line. And if you're able to do a double-sided print, you can see more directions on the back. Now let's get started. This one's a little bit easier to cut out than the one yesterday, but I think it's going to be a little more complex to fold together. But don't worry, we'll do it together and we'll have a really cool building. So just snipping around those black edges very carefully. I'm not being too precious about it. It doesn't need to be too perfect. And you can see at the top right here what we're supposed to make. So while we're cutting this out, think about what you want that shape to be. It can be lots of different things. And maybe you could even make a variation of this. Now, this little corner right here is pretty tough to cut out, so I'm going to cut it out from this direction, from the other angle. I think I'll have an easier time doing that. All right. There we go. And that came out really easily. And then I'm going to snip the other side. And then I'm going to snip from the top on the other side. So it's kind of tough from this side to make all of these cuts because we're so close to this interior edge. Alright, I'm going to snip off this excess so it's not flopping around, but we still have more to cut. If you guys have any pictures of the models you've made in this course, please post them down below. I'd love to see them. Send me links, let me know how it's going, and let me know if you want me to do any other crafts with you. I've been doing crafts forever, like I've said, mostly model building, but I've also done things like sewing, things with clay, what else? Even some electronic projects. So just let me know what you guys want to do together, and if you liked this course. If this course has gone well, I'll probably do another one, maybe for a different age group. So if you have a brother or sister that you think would like to learn how to do crafts like this, model building, let me know and I can make a custom course for that age group or for your brother or sister. snipping all day long. So I think what I want to do with this building is to make it into an office building and then maybe add some cool colors to it, stickers, whatnot, and make it a really fun office building. Okay, so we have all of our pieces cut out. If I went too quick for you, please go ahead and pause the video and finish cutting. But I'm going to get started on the folding part of this. So, as always, directions are in the upper corner. Black is cut, blue is mountain line, red is valley line, and green is the tab line. So, you can see we have mostly blue folds, so mostly mountain folds, and one valley fold right here. So that valley fold is going to be this inside corner. And once again, it makes a valley, while the rest kind of make mountain shapes. To start off, I'm going to flip it over, and I'm just going to fold in all of the tab pieces. So these are the parts that are sticking out, and if you print it double-sided, you can also see the tabs are the parts that are sticking out with letters on them. Okay, and I'm going to use the line as a guide, but I could also use the corners of my cut as a guide. Okay, I'm going to fold in this K tab right here. And if I don't get the fold perfectly correct, I sometimes rub my fingers together like this and push it into place to get the fold on the correct part of the line. So hopefully you can start building your own models that are a little different than what I've made right here today. This is just supposed to be a starting point for you to really expand on what I've done and make something for yourself. When I work on other projects, I have to almost recreate every step of this project every time. There's no cutout printouts for me to use. And that's how it is for most things in life. Even if you've done something before a million times, sometimes you gotta make up some extra rules. Sometimes you gotta make up some extra resources and steps for yourself. So I've just finished folding all of my tabs. And we have the main outline of our little shoe building. And I'm just gonna start folding in all of the mountain lines, starting with this side. And I don't have any corner cuts to line this up, so I'm just going to use the line and kind of press lightly with my fingers. And then spread out that fold to make it nice and crisp. And I'm going to pinch this side, spread it out to make it nice and crisp. And I'm going to fold in this side, the wall part. And you know, when I say the term wall or base or roof, it doesn't really have to be like that. That's just how I'm building my model. You could orient this in any direction, and this could be the base, or this could be the base. So don't take my word for it. Try to discover for yourself what's going to be the best shape for you. Okay, so I'm going to fold in this wide side, fold it up. All right, and fold this top part up. And one more mountain fold, which is going to be along this edge. There we we go. And my first valley fold in the whole thing, which is going to be this edge. So I folded this one forward, and then I'm going to fold this side back away from myself. All right, cool. So I have all the pieces mostly folded. And now I'm going to start pulling it together. So, as always, the way I'm going to do that is I'm going to slightly fold back out the tabs that I've created. And I'm going to use double stick tape to pull everything together. Oops, that's my single-sided tape. You could also use single-sided tape. Where is my double stick? It's over here. Almost lost it. So I think I'm going to start with A. And if you printed out the back, once again, A tab goes to this A side, and so on for all of the other tabs in this model. C goes to C, of course. Going to put some tape on the inside of that tab. Okay, so I think what's going to be easiest is before I push this in like this, I'm going to try to tape up this side or glue it together, whatever you'd like. And the way I'm going to do that is I'm going to tape this J side down first. And I think I'm going to also tape down the D side, you can see that right there, and this E side right here. So I'm just going to put tape on the insides of all of these points. Okay, almost there. Okay, so I think first step, I'm going to fold this forward and over. So I'm folding this down, and I'm trying to line up the D as best as possible, and then slightly tap it down, and then I'm going to line up the J, and line up those corners and slightly tap it down, and then line up my E tab, my other E tab, and slightly tap that down again. Okay, so I'm also going to put some tape on the inside of this corner to press it together. Okay, there we go. And so all I have to do really is to swing this forward and press it together. And the way I'm going to do that, I think, is I'm going to put tape all along the inside right here. So it's key not to press too hard, because we're working with fragile paper. You don't want to press it apart and crush it. So be very delicate. And then some tape along my G side. Now, before I close this forward, what I want to do is make sure that all my tabs are kind of facing up just a little bit, I don't want them to be pressed inward like this, because they'll never meet the actual sticky side. They should be pressed just a little bit up. So I might have to do a little easing in, but we'll see how this works. I'm going to just slowly close this and slowly try to ease the corners into the correct spot here. And because I'm using double-sided tape, I can kind of take it apart a little bit and then rework it so that, unlike glue, it's not as set in stone how this thing comes together. So now that I've got it close, I can pinch it a little bit to make the final seal. Pinch it from the inside, just a little bit. Okay, And here we go. And I think my office building, I think this is gonna be the base of my building. And I think I'm gonna use some markers to start to decorate it. What do I have? Let's go with some pink today. Ooh, I love this type of tip. It has a really smooth bottom. And I think I'm going to just do some little long taps along this side. And I'm just gonna cover the whole thing. And these are gonna be my weird windows. And it's an office building, so it needs a door to get on the inside. So this will be my front door. Something like that. Okay. Maybe some more windows on the front. Maybe I'll try a different color too. Let's see what we have here. Ooh, I got this red. So I love this little pointy tip. Let's see how that looks. Ooh, it's a really nice color. So I'll do that around the side too. If you're making something different, decorate it a different way. Use your favorite drawing tool. Use some stickers on it too, why not? Cool. And I think this is going to be a little green roof area, so I'm going to color that green. Awesome. Pretty cool. So people can walk in the building, they have a little green roof, and maybe the top of this will also be a green roof. I love making green spaces in buildings. It can be tough sometimes, but having a model of it first really helps to show you how it's going to look. So let's decorate one more, maybe two more while we're here. As always, I have a few of these in the back, and I think I'm going to make a little boot. So I'm going to actually cut off the top here. Let's see how that goes. Carefully, carefully cut off the top. Okay, cool. And I'm gonna do one more. Okay. And I think boots need laces, so I'm going to pick a color I like, maybe this one, and I'm going to draw some laces on it. So I think laces go kind of crisscross like this, and then they have little circles where the laces go. So I'm going to do the same thing here, crisscross, crisscross, and then I'm going to have a little sole to my boot, so I'm going to draw a line along the inside of this, just along the base. Nice. Okay. And along the second one. And maybe your boots are different colors. Or maybe they aren't boots at all. Don't follow my lead, follow your own. Cool. Nice. Okay. Okay. So now I have these huge boots in the middle of my town. For someone, maybe my Eggy Man will wear them. Oh, they fit perfectly. So, like I said from the beginning, it's the end of the week and we have all of these beautiful buildings that you've made. And I think it's now time to maybe compose a bigger town. So, get out some paint. Put down some paper first to protect your table. And let's clear up our workspace a little bit. All right. I always like keeping paper on my table, even when I'm not doing crafts, because it just makes it so easy to clean up. So I'm going to use my really thick, wide brush. And I'm going to use one of my favorite colors, which was in one of our last videos. That was kind of this bluish, blackish color, but it was a really pretty road color. So I'm going to give myself a healthy amount right here. Now, if you're using double stick tape, what you can do to place your buildings is put some tape on the bottom. So let's think about how a city would work. We have places where people live, we have places where people go to work, and people go to school, and places where people have fun. So there could be green space, places could be organized for others to live, and I think this is a good shape for a home someone might live in. So we can place that off to the side, and I think these are all really homes. So I'm going to place them over here in my suburbs spot. And we don't want to place them right next to each other or too close, because you want to have a yard, of course, and you also want to have space to put roads. If they're all stacked together like this, how do people get inside? So think about those things when you're trying to build out your city. We have our towers for our downtown. I think my Eggy Man is going to be a monument in the center of everything. I think we're going to have some towers over here. Another home over here. So some office buildings, and this is kind of cool. They kind of fit together maybe. You could start stacking them depending on what you want to do. And make it something beautiful that you like. Don't follow everything I'm doing. Just try to feel it out and see what you like the best. So, this is my monument, this is my suburbs over here, and this is my office building park area. So, with that in mind, I think I'm going to paint some roads to connect everything. And wider roads should be more like highways to connect these parts with these other parts. So I'm gonna put big lines down here for my big highways. Make sure you don't knock down any of your buildings like I am almost doing. And sometimes, you know, you have houses right next to office buildings. You don't have to divide it up like I did it. Think about your own city. Where are your homes in your own city? Do you live in an apartment building? Do you live in a home? Or do you live in some place where it's both places? So we're starting to get this highway system going. And I think I also want to have a smaller brush to paint in little roads. So slightly smaller brush. I'm going to paint in roads. Now this isn't exactly how cities are made, but just pretend with me. We're going to paint in some roads to get to these homes. We're going to paint in some city roads. Cities often have really straight roads. Not all cities, but many of them in a grid shape. And remember, we want to make roads that go to all of the different parts of our city. We don't want to leave any part out that doesn't have a road. And you know what's missing, I think, is some green space. So let me pull out some green paint, if I have any. I have next big question. Let's see. That's dried out. Ooh, I do have some beautiful green right here. Okay. Now your city would be really sad without trees, so try to paint something. Try to paint some green spots for people. Green spots, and I'm just kind of dabbing along here. It doesn't have to be perfect. Just painting some green spots of our city. And definitely tons of green spots around the living spaces. Living homes. I'd be really sad if I didn't have green spaces around where I live. And there should always be green spots in cities, I think. Not all cities have that, but if you don't have green places in your city, then where do you go to relax? I love nature, and I just want to put it in everywhere that I build. Okay, this is starting to look pretty cool. Now, you don't have to stop here, but I'm gonna leave it for now. And please, add more stuff, add more colors. This is your city, you should build it how you like. And I just want to thank you for joining me on this tutorial and learning how to build some paper crafts. If there's anything else that you'd like me to build with you, or any series you'd like me to do for your children or for your sister or your brother, let me know. I build models, but I also do other crafts, so ask away. Anyway, thank you so much for joining me, and have a wonderful week and a wonderful weekend.